I'm not gonna lie, but lately I've been seeing the Hulk getting very disrespected a lot. I've been hearing that Hulk is fodder and that Hulk isn't the strongest Avenger and that Hulk is the quote-unquote un-incredible Hulk. But I'm here to disprove all these allegations. Yeah, that's right. I'm not about to let y'all disrespect the GOAT, the Incredible Crash Out. And to disprove all these allegations, I'm gonna be showing you a moment when the Hulk literally violated the Avengers. So the story begins when the Avengers pull up to the Hulk. Captain America tries to tell the Hulk that they won the battle against the Chitauri, but the Hulk is absolutely hearing none of that shit and just proceeds to smack away Captain America. And that's where the fight began, because right after he smacked away Captain America, he proceeds to fucking jump on Iron Man, grabs him, and then proceeds to smack away the rest of the Avengers. Like it hasn't even been a minute and the Hulk is already putting in that work. Anyways, after he smacks away Nick Fury and Black Widow, he throws Iron Man into a nearby car, which then, of course, explodes. And damn, I just realized just when Iron Man needed the Hulkbuster the most, he don't even got it. Ant-Man tries to stomp out the Hulk, but Hulk moves out of the way and jumps onto one of his knees. And then what happens next looks mad painful, because the Hulk proceeds to punch his knees and the Ant-Man just falls to the ground in pain. Like bro's knee must have gotten dislocated from that punch. After the Hulk brutalizes Ant-Man's knees, he grabs his fat ass rock and proceeds to throw it at him, sniping him with a headshot, which then promptly puts the Ant-Man to sleep. Then Wasp tries to blast the Hulk, but it ends up being futile as the Hulk literally just claps his hands together, knocking out the Wasp. And look at that, both the Ant-Man and the Wasp are both sleeping now. I knew both of those two were both fodder. Anyway, right after the Hulk puts Ant-Man and Wasp to sleep, Thor pulls up and proceeds to hit his ass with his hammer, which then launches away the Hulk. This man Thor managed to somehow hit a home run on the Hulk. Hulk jumps back up after getting hit by Thor's hammer and lands, and then proceeds to punch Thor. But Thor uses his hammer to sway away the Hulk's punch, and after he swayed away the Hulk's punch, he absolutely starts comboing on the Hulk. Thor absolutely uppercuts the shit out of the Hulk and proceeds to use his hammer again to hit him. Right after he uses his hammer, he proceeds to throw a quick left hook at the Hulk and then proceeds to jump up to hit him again with his hammer. While Thor is working the Hulk, Captain America wakes up and asks Betty how the fuck do they beat the Hulk, and she basically says that they basically gotta drug the Hulk. So while Betty's running to get her medicine to stop the Hulk, Thor punches the Hulk and the Hulk lands on his back, but Thor gets right back up on his feet and literally grabs a fucking tank and literally hits him with the goddamn tank. And you know, as I was watching the fight, I was low-key kind of wondering how are 90% of the Avengers not at the pearly gates yet? Like almost every Avenger should be dead right now except for Thor. Like I guarantee if Hulk decided to hit Black Widow with the tank, I'd be 100% sure Black Widow would be dead right now. But anyways, right after Hulk hits Thor with the tank, Thor drops his hammer, and what happens next is low-key kind of crazy, because the Hulk tries to grab the hammer and lift it up, and you'd think he wouldn't lift it up because he's not worthy, right? But you'd be very wrong, because this man Hulk doesn't care if he's worthy or not and just lifts the hammer up anyways. And just look at Thor's expression, bro. This man looks absolutely shocked and confused. Like this man is like, you shouldn't be doing that. Right after Hulk manages to lift up Thor's hammer, he literally chucks the hammer at Thor and Thor gets hit by it. And I'm not gonna lie, getting hit with your own weapon is low-key kind of crazy. Like, aren't you the Prince of Asgard? Why are you getting folded by your own weapon? I bet if Odin was watching this fight, he'd probably be shaking his head in disbelief. Like, ain't no way my son is getting folded by this green ass nigga. Hulk tries to put Thor to sleep with his own hammer, but Captain America comes in and just in the nick of time and stops him. And I won't lie, but if Captain America didn't clutch up, then Thor would have immediately been sent to Valhalla, cause this man was about to get packed up by his own weapon. Anyways, right after stopping Hulk from packing up Thor, Captain America says to run the fade and Hulk says bet. Hulk charges at Captain America, but Captain America manages to sweep the Hulk. Hulk gets back up, but Captain America still continues his pressure by throwing his shield and hitting the Hulk. Cap gets his shield back and jumps up to hit the Hulk with his shield again, but the Hulk literally just eats that attack for breakfast. After the Hulk tanks Captain America's attack, Hulk punches Captain America and Captain America gets sent flying. And honestly, I think Captain America probably wished he was still nice, cause the way he's getting handled right now is low-key kinda crazy. Anyway, Anyways, after Captain America gets sent flying, he crashes into a building and starts tumbling down. After he's finished tumbling down, Hulk tries to jump on Captain America to finish him, but before he could successfully jump on Captain America, Ant-Man catches the Hulk and then proceeds to deliver the most goofiest line ever, by the way.
You're still a little man, Banner. Now knock it off or I'm gonna squish you.
Little man? What little man? Bro's literally been dog walking you and your whole squad for like 3 minutes now, and you can't even do shit about it. Then this man has the audacity to say that he's gonna squish the Hulk. Like, bro, you literally tried that shit like 2 minutes ago and that shit didn't work at all. Hulk strangles the Ant-Man after hearing that bullshit, and then Ant-Man falls to the ground. But of course, before Hulk could finish the Ant-Man, Wasp comes in and stops him. And you're telling me these tiny ass little blasts managed to stop the Hulk? Like, come on, Ant-Man should have died in this scene, bro. Cause realistically, Hulk would have literally just ate those blasts. While Hulk is fighting the Avengers, Iron Man finally wakes up after being knocked out for like 3 hours. A matter of fact, what has Iron Man even done this whole fight? Bro's just been knocked out the whole time. But once Iron Man finally wakes up from his nap, he starts to beam the Hulk and dives into the Hulk. And yet again, they crash into a building. Hulk smacks Iron Man out the building, and then he starts abusing Iron Man. Can we just stop for a minute and just look at Iron Man's suit? His suit looks like it's 1 minute away from crumbling into dust. Like, the Hulk was really beating Iron Man's ass here. Captain America then kicks the Hulk, which then transitions into a flip, and before Captain America can get another hit in, the Hulk literally just kicks Captain America like a fucking football. And after Captain America gets kicked, Black Widow and Nick Fury start shooting at the Hulk, which I don't really understand since he's quite literally the Hulk. Like, bullets don't work on this guy. Like, the bullets to him just feel like he's getting tickled, which is probably gonna make him even more mad. Hulk then grabs the blades of a helicopter and throws it at Nick Fury and Black Widow. Black Widow and Nick Fury manage to weave out the way, and while the Hulk is still tweaking, Betty finally finds the medicine to finally calm down the Hulk. And then Captain America says this corny ass line.
Hey, we're not finished yet.
Like, gang, you damn near look like you're finished. Captain America right hooks the Hulk, and then the Hulk retaliates with his own right hook, but then Captain America weaves out of it and then hits him with another punch. But then after all that, the Hulk literally just smacks away Captain America. And can we just please pause for a moment and just look at Captain America for a minute? Cause this man looks like he took the most diabolical ass beating ever. Like, I know Captain America fans are fuming right now seeing him like this. Like, this y'all go for real? Anyway, Betty finally arrives back on the scene and gives Captain America a gun that has the antidote in it to finally calm down the Hulk. So once Captain America was given the gun, he tells Ant-Man and Iron Man to slow down the Hulk, that way he can shoot the Hulk with the antidote. So then they proceed to do that and then hit Hulk with this low-key kind of clean team attack, because then Iron Man would use his unibeam on the Hulk to push the Hulk into the direction of Ant-Man, which then Ant-Man would use that to smash Hulk into the ground. But after getting smashed into the ground, Hulk jumps up and then uppercuts Ant-Man. And while Ant-Man, Iron Man, and the Hulk are all boxing, Captain America tries to aim at the Hulk, but just after getting his ass beat, he really can't focus his aim on the Hulk. He's not locked in. So since he's not locked in, he asks the Wasp to distract the Hulk, that way he can shoot the Hulk with the antidote. So while the Hulk is tweaking out, the Wasp gets inside of Hulk's ear, which makes me wonder why she didn't do this before. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter, because the Hulk managed to get the Wasp out his ear and then proceeded to grab a rock and chuck that shit at Captain America. And once Captain America gets hit by the rock, the antidote gets knocked out of the gun, and Captain America basically looks like he's finished. But when all hope looks lost, Black Widow manages to clutch up and inject the antidote inside the Hulk. Yeah, that's right, the most useless member on the Avengers actually managed to save the day. Shocking, right? Anyways, after Hulk gets injected with the antidote, Betty confronts the Hulk, and once Betty manages to calm down the Hulk reverts back into Bruce Banner, which officially ends the fight. Hi, it's me, Kev, and the 5'3" Canadian over here is named Logan, aka the Wolverine. Now you're probably wondering, why in the world is Logan fighting the Hulk? And for me to explain that, we're gonna have to go all the way back.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now, before I officially start this video, I gotta ask one question. Why the fuck hasn't Disney made a Hulk vs. Wolverine movie already? Like, do you know how much money they could make off of that shit? Like, easily they could make like $1 billion in the box office if they make that movie. And yeah, I know that in Hulk's current condition, it's probably highly unlikely that they'll make such a movie, but I'm pretty sure they can figure something out. Like, why can't they just bring a Marvel character that has mind control and could just mind control the Hulk into a rampage? Or better yet, since the MCU's been spamming out multiverse stories, they could just send another Hulk from another universe to fight Wolverine. But those are just two ways on how I would go about making a Hulk vs. Wolverine live action movie, if they even make the movie, that is. So the story starts off with Logan investigating a destroyed city. The general says that Hulk was behind the massacre and tells Logan to either 1, stop the Hulk, or 2, kill the Hulk. And to be honest, I think Logan can't do either of those options because realistically, Wolverine is not beating the Hulk. Like, I feel like people keep forgetting that Hulk is literally a walking nuclear bomb that could probably destroy a whole city in like one clap, to be honest. Like, what is Logan doing when Hulk just grabs him and just throws him into outer space? Like, he's doing nothing. Anyway, Logan is in the middle of the forest wandering around trying to find the Hulk, until that is he finds Bruce Banner. And Bruce is over here scared shitless. But not because he's scared of Wolverine. No, he's actually scared for Wolverine. And that should have already been red flag number 1 for Wolverine. But I guess this motherfucker Wolverine doesn't care, because right after he smells the radiation on Bruce Banner, he immediately tries to interrogate Bruce. But obviously this was a dumbass move, as Bruce Banner smacks away Wolverine off screen and finally turns into the Hulk. And after seeing the Hulk appear, Wolverine kind of acts out of character here and says this.
I don't suppose you got any interest in talking this out.
Like, bruh, this cannot be Wolverine, bro. Like, what do you mean, can we talk this out? Like, bro, Wolverine, you're a crash out. You should always be ready for the fade. Hulk smacks away Logan all the way up into the air, and now we're in present time, where now Wolverine and the Hulk are obviously fighting. Hulk destroys this part of the mountain, and Logan and the Hulk fall into the river. And let me just pause this real quick, because I got a question. Can Logan technically drown? Or does his healing factor like counteract that? Because I feel like the right answer would be technically yes, but at the same time no, you know? Hopefully one of you guys know. Anyways, let's resume back the fight. Hulk and Wolverine continue to fight underwater until Hulk just punches Wolverine out of the river. Wolverine finally decides to use his battle IQ and sneak up behind the Hulk, stabbing him in the back. And I really don't know why, but my dumbass thought the Hulk's blood would be green, not red. Probably because his whole body is radioactive. Hulk gets Logan off his back and then starts throwing rocks at him. And wait a minute, hold up! Notice how Wolverine took that rock attack head on? How the hell does Ant-Man get knocked out by a mere rock, but Logan over here is fucking tanking that shit? Like, are you telling me that Giant Man might just be rock level? Like, come on, Hank. Hulk grabs another rock and proceeds to crush Wolverine with it. And after doing that, Hulk just continues violating Wolverine, bro. Like, it's actually good. And after taking that ass whooping that Hulk gave to Wolverine, it looks like that Logan is finally finished. But of course, that healing factor was working overtime, and Wolverine immediately got right back up, asking for round 2 this time. So then Wolverine starts cutting up and slashing away the Hulk, and even hits this iconic pose. Yeah, you thought I wouldn't notice that? I did. You're not slick, buddy. And just when things finally looked evenly matched for Wolverine, him and Hulk get shot up with darts, which promptly knocks them out. And then we get a quick backstory on how Wolverine managed to get his adamantium bone. But I'm pretty sure those who are watching this video probably already know Wolverine's backstory, so I'm gonna just skip this. Wolverine wakes up after getting those flashbacks and gets his shit absolutely smacked by Sabretooth. And when I was watching this, I was like, damn, Logan just woke up and Sabretooth's already on that bullshit, bro. Like, how the hell you gonna smack this man Logan when he just woke up? Let this man breathe a little. Jeez. Later on, it's explained that Hulk didn't technically destroy the city and was just trying to protect the city and himself from Weapon X, because Weapon X was trying to capture the Hulk. And let's be honest, if you can't contain Wolverine, then what do you have in hell's chance in containing the Hulk? Like, this professor dude is actually stupid, because Hulk is 10 times more angry than Wolverine and 10 times stronger than Wolverine. Like, containing him would actually be impossible. Logan is like, I'ma murk all y'all, and the professor's like, yeah, alright. And then Deadpool shoots Wolverine in the head, but the bullet just ricochets back. Logan then wakes up to see Lady Deathstrike, and her ass wants Logan gone completely. But but the professor still wants Logan on the Weapon X team. But Sabretooth, agreeing with Lady Deathstrike, just cuts up the professor and completely murks him. And now that the professor's dead, Lady Deathstrike just opens up the tube, and now Sabretooth and Deathstrike just start jumping Logan. And can I just ask, but why the hell was her face like this when she was stabbing Wolverine in the back? Like, if you don't get your freaky ass out of here. After getting stabbed by Lady Deathstrike, Sabretooth then grabs Wolverine and then licks his face. I just know Wolverine's face must smell crazy right now after just getting licked on. We all know that Sabretooth did not brush his teeth, so his mouth must smell like shit. Lady Deathstrike stabs Logan and Sabretooth, and just luckily, Wolverine managed to get out of Sabretooth's grab. Then Logan dishes out this diabolical hook to Sabretooth, and then does a double hammer fist to him. Deathstrike comes out of midair and kicks Logan and then starts slashing him up, after which Logan then uses his claws to cut off one of her arms, and then finishes her off by absolutely kicking the shit out of her, which knocks her out. And then we cut to the scene where Wolverine's walking in a hallway and then random soldiers appearing, aiming their guns at him. And I think you guys know what happened next. This man just starts viciously slaughtering the soldiers. Honestly, these soldiers must be getting paid like 50 mil a year to be fighting people like Wolverine. Honestly, I really don't know why villains be giving their minions basic ass weapons to fight against heroes. Like, what the fuck is a gun gonna really do against Hulk, bro? After Wolverine is finished slaughtering all those soldiers, he finally manages to reach Bruce Banner. He then opens up Bruce's tube and tells Bruce to lock the fuck in, because if they don't, they're gonna die. Logan and Bruce then try to escape, but they end up getting caught by Deadpool and Omega Red. Omega Red's over here trying to completely murder Logan, while Wade is over here just trolling Bruce Banner, pretending like he's about to shoot him. Logan manages to get away from Omega Red and cuts Deadpool's gun as him and Bruce start running away. Logan tells Bruce to hurry the fuck up and bring the Hulk out, or else they're gonna fucking die. But Bruce can't because he needs to get angry. So Logan does this 100 IQ play and just stabs Bruce. So while Bruce is tweaking out, the whole squad appears and they just start jumping Wolverine. And while Logan's getting jumped, Deadpool just appears out of midair and then tries to impale Logan. But Wolverine just turns one of Deadpool's arm into sushi. Wolverine continues fighting in the X group, but before then getting grabbed by Omega Red. And then after getting grabbed, he gets the shit electrocuted out of him. And just look at these hating ass motherfuckers watching Logan get electrocuted, bro. Like, this is a different level of hating. The Hulk finally wakes up and this man gets straight to crash it out. He sends Sabretooth absolutely fucking flying. Omega Red then uses his tentacles to grab the Hulk, but the green big man just pulls Omega Red forward and just punches the shit out of him, sending Omega Red and Deathstrike launching. Hulk is still pissed off at Wolverine because of their first fight, so Hulk just grabs this huge ass pillar and just proceeds to chuck it at Logan. And the more I watch this movie, the more I wonder to myself, where the fuck are the Avengers at? Like, shouldn't they be notified that Hulk is on a fucking rampage right now? But what about the Fantastic Four? Like, there's gotta be other heroes that could take on the Hulk. Deadpool puts a grenade inside of Hulk's mouth and it explodes, but it really does nothing, and it just makes Hulk even more angrier. Logan, not wanting to deal with Deadpool's bullshit, just grabs Deadpool, throws him straight into Hulk, and Hulk just smacks him away. Logan continues sprinting away, but then Omega Red tackles him, and then Lady Deathstrike just pops out of nowhere and then just scratches Hulk's face. And just listen to what Hulk says next, bro.
Ugly girl scratch Hulk.
Like, damn, you didn't need a violator like that, bro. Deathstrike, not taking that level of disrespect, continues on cutting up the Hulk. But when Hulk finally sees the perfect moment to attack, he claps his hands together and absolutely sends Deathstrike blowing away. Like, bro, this man clapped his hands so hard that parts of her clothing just tore apart. Like, Hulk is an absolute demon, bro. After he clapped the shit out of her, they both get into a yelling competition. And then Hulk just rips her apart like a fucking toy, bro. We cut back to Logan getting his ass absolutely handled by Omega Red. But unfortunately for Omega Red, Hulk was behind his ass. And what Hulk did next was absolutely devious. Hulk grabs his head, smashes him against the wall, slams him on the floor, then jumps on him, and then just launches off of him. Like, this man Hulk legit just used Omega Red as his fucking spring. Hulk's meltdown is getting even more worse, and he's just starting to destroy the place. But Logan over here is like, you know what? Fuck this place, destroy this bitch. But Hulk really doesn't give a fuck what Wolverine says and just smacks him away, sending this man packing. Had that man Logan landing right next to Sabretooth. Logan gets right back up and Hulk follows him. And then they just continue fading. But before we could see anything more, the movie just ends. And you know what? I don't even need to see anything more, cause we all know Wolverine got his ass whooped. The Incredible Hulk versus the Almighty Thor. Now, many people have been asking who would win between these two powerful beings. But after digging up some research and finding these old Marvel movies, I finally found the ultimate gem. Today, I present to you Hulk versus Thor. Yeah, very creative name, am I right? Now, it's been proven time and time again on several different occasions that Thor maybe be able to beat the Hulk. Keyword maybe, because it's not if Thor can beat the Hulk, it's how fast Thor can beat the Hulk before the Hulk eventually outpowers him. Because realistically, the more the Hulk fights, the more rageful he becomes. And the more rageful he becomes, the more stronger he gets. So eventually, if Thor can't take out Hulk in time, then Thor is obviously losing. But again, this is Thor that we're talking about. This man is a literal god. So there is a probability that this man could take out Hulk before he outpowers him. But anyways, my opinion doesn't really matter because in this 40-minute long movie, it basically answers the question on which two of these guys would win in a fight. So without further ado, let's actually get into this movie. Alright, so the story starts off with Big Man Allfather, aka Odin, in this comatose-like state called the Odin Sleep. And for the people that read the Thor comics know that this man Odin is that guy. Odin is legit one of the most powerful beings in Marvel Comics. And I'm betting that if Odin was still alive in the MCU, he'd 100% smack the absolute dog shit out of Thanos. Heck, if Odin was still awake, then the events of Hulk versus Thor wouldn't even happen because this man Odin would have legit murdered the Hulk. Like, that's how strong Odin is. So you guys can kind of understand why this man is just sleeping right now and is replenishing his strength. Anywho, while Odin is sleeping, both the Asgards and Trolls both go to war, and unsurprisingly, the Asgardians win. But that's not really the main focus because we cut to Loki kidnapping Bruce Banner and chaining him up. I honestly have zero clue how Loki managed to kidnap Bruce Banner without him transforming into the Hulk, but who cares? He probably just used some BS magic anyway. But the main reason why Loki brought Bruce to Asgard was pretty much to use the Hulk to kill Thor. So when Loki tells Bruce Banner to let out the Hulk, Bruce Banner tries his hardest to prevent the Hulk from coming out. But then Loki just smacks the shit out of Bruce Banner, and then you guessed it, Bruce Banner transforms into the Hulk. And when the Hulk finally came out, Hulk just tries to immediately put this man Loki in a body bag. But luckily for Loki, he uses his magic to block the Hulk's attack, and then Amora comes in and then uses her paralysis spell to split apart the Hulk's body. So now both the Hulk and Bruce Banner's soul are now split apart, which now means they're separate entities. So once the Hulk was split from Bruce Banner, Amora uses her magic again to allow Loki to use the Hulk's body. And you guys already know where this is about to go. We cut to the Asgardians celebrating the fact that they managed to beat the Trolls in the war, and then we hear Hulk, quote unquote, screaming in the background. And then the Asgardians, thinking it's just another troll, tries to attack the Hulk. But we all know how this goes. My man Loki goes straight to work with the Hulk's body and just starts whooping the Asgardians. Like he was low-key, you see what I did there? Going straight to town with these motherfuckers. Amora tells Loki to calm down with Hulk's body before he breaks out of the spell. But let's be honest, he is clearly not listening right now because he's having a blast with the Hulk's body. We cut back to Hulk still fighting the Asgardians, and it's not looking good for them. One of them tries to hit Hulk with the mace, but we all know that does absolutely nothing, and he ends up getting dealt with a quick 1-2. One of the guys with the sword slashes Hulk's back, but then the Hulk literally smacks the absolute dog shit out of them, and he ends up hitting his back. And you can just tell by the impact, Buddy is not getting up anytime soon. I mean, when his back hit the wood legit started to crack, so you know his back is cooked. And even though Buddy's spine was basically done for, Loki didn't give a fuck and just kept on punching him anyway. We then go back to the guy with the mace, getting up and turning around just to see the Hulk holding up this big ass wooden stick. And then the Hulk just crushes him with the wooden stick, sending this man straight to Valhalla. The Hulk continues making a rampage as he throws this wooden pillar right directly at the gate and keeps on beating up more Asgardians. And finally, just finally, one of these motherfuckers had the common sense to call up Thor. I honestly didn't know why they didn't do that shit sooner, because the whole squad was getting demolished, low-key. Anyway, just when it looked like the Hulk was about to pack up another Asgardian, Thor pops up and uses his hammer to stop the Hulk. And just like that, both Hulk and Thor just begin scrapping. Hulk grabs Thor and tosses him into the air, but Thor luckily recovers. However, just when Thor recovered, Hulk comes in and punches him into a nearby building. And for some reason, Thor is trying to talk some sense into the Hulk. But my question is, why though? Like, the Hulk is like the least likely person to be able to reason with, because all this man wants to do is just fight and cause chaos. Like, how the hell is Thor gonna be able to reason with that? While Thor is trying to talk some sense into Hulk, Hulk doesn't give a fuck and just tries to attack Thor again. But luckily, Thor moves out the way. And just when Thor turns around, Hulk grabs him by the collar. And right before the Hulk is about to smack this man Thor away, Thor questions the Hulk as to why he's even here. And then the Hulk starts talking in the voice of Loki. And after hearing Loki's voice, my man Thor automatically knew what was going on here. And before we even continue any further, can we just peep Hulk's expression here? Like, the Hulk right here looks mad devious. Like, if I saw him in real life and he looked at me like this, I deadass might start crying low-key. The Hulk starts beating the bricks off of Thor's head, after which the Thor would then use his hammer to intercept the Hulk's last attack and then move out the way. Thor would then continue smacking around the Hulk with his hammer as he starts bashing in Hulk's head with his hammer against the wall. And even though Loki's technically in the Hulk's body, I'm kind of shocked that Hulk's frontal lobe isn't like smushed together by the amount of times he gets hit by the Thor's hammer. But shit, I guess the Hulk's body is built different. Hulk tries to grab Thor, but Thor weaves out the way and then hits this man in the knees. And then Thor uses his full force to smack away the Hulk, smashing him into a nearby statue. Hulk throws the statue at him, but Thor's kind of used to Hulk just throwing random shit at him, so Thor just effortlessly destroys the statue. And I guess that Loki already knew that Thor was gonna destroy the statue, so he immediately grabs Thor's head, jumps up, and then smashes him into the ground. Hulk then follows up with him punching Thor into a nearby tower, and just when it looked like Thor was about to get up, Hulk jumps on him and dives straight into Thor's body, smashing him into the second floor. And after just basically putting the beat down on Thor, Loki finds Mjolnir and tries to lift it up. And I don't know if it's because he's in Hulk's body or if it's just him, but unlike in the Ultimate Universe where Hulk effortlessly managed to lift up Stormbreaker, in this case, Hulk was not able to lift up Mjolnir. And after failing to lift up Mjolnir miserably, Thor finally wakes up from the ass beating that he got from Hulk, and then he just yoinks the hammer from Loki and then summons lightning to strike upon Hulk's body. And my man Loki is in intense pain right now. But that begs the question, if he can feel pain through Hulk's body, then does that mean he just effortlessly tanked Thor's hammer attacks? Like, shouldn't Loki at least have like CTE from the amount of times he got hit with Thor's hammer? Or at least this man's knee should be in pain after Thor's knee attack against the Hulk. But oh well, maybe I'm just thinking too much. As Hulk's body is getting electrocuted, Loki's spell just completely breaks apart. And now that Loki's spell has officially been broken, the big green crash out himself is now fully awake. And after the real Hulk had finally waken up, he rushes at Thor and punches him in the arm. And just listen to the way Thor screams after just getting punched in the arm. And hey, I'm not gonna lie, but the voice actor must have been in their bag when they were making that scream, cause that has gotta be the most terrifying scream I've heard from Thor. Hulk continues fighting Thor as he punches Thor to a fucking mountain. And if you guys ever watched the Invincible show, then you guys realize what Omni-Man did to Invincible is basically similar to what Hulk is doing to Thor right now. Hulk punches Thor through the mountain, and even though this man Thor's been getting his ass beat horrendously, he still has enough strength to stand up tall against the Hulk. And with the last bit of strength Thor has, he tries to punch the Hulk, but the Hulk just immediately booms his ass, and just like that, Thor is just laying on the ground unconscious. Like, Thor was looking like that one scene from Dragon Ball when Yamcha got his ass killed by that one Cyberman. Like, gang was completely laid out. Amora pops up to check on Thor, and she's like, damn, she didn't even really want the Thor to get that fucked up. So she fully restores Thor's health and also decides to snitch on Loki, telling him his current location of Thor. We then transition back to the Hulk fucking up everybody in Asgard, committing mass murder to basically every single Asgardian. Like, I don't really see the point behind sending all these soldiers to fight Hulk when they're all just gonna basically die. Like, unless their weapons are coated with adamantium, their spears and shields are gonna do jack shit to the Hulk. A matter of fact, I think the Asgardians have a stronger material than adamantium, but I forgot what that shit is called. We then go back to Thor cracking down on Loki's ass, telling him to fix the mess he's fucking created and to bring back the Hulk to Midgard. But there's one tiny little problem.
You fool! You killed him!
Yeah, Loki just straight up murdered Bruce Banner, and without Bruce Banner's soul, they can't bring the Hulk back to Midgard. So Thor and Loki basically have to go to hell, that way they can retrieve Bruce Banner's soul back, and that way they can put the Hulk's and Bruce's soul back together as one. Which is quite literally easier said than done, because they're quite literally gonna go to hell. We then go to see Hulk fighting a bunch of Valkyries, and he's just beating the bricks out of them. Like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't even 5 minutes, and the Valkyries had already lost to Hulk. Like, that's crazy work, dude. Like, no wonder why they all end up getting destroyed in Ragnarok, because they're hella trash. Like, I haven't seen one Asgardian except for Thor actually manage to hurt the Hulk. After Hulk had defeated all the Valkyries, we then see Loki send out this big ass frost giant to fight the Hulk. The frost giant tried to crush the Hulk, but the Hulk moved out the way and then banged him in the face. We then see Thor and Loki in hell talking to Hela, asking for Bruce Banner's soul back, but I guess she was fiending for Bruce's soul because she obviously says no. So Loki, obviously being the little diabolical trickster that he is, manages to convince Hela by telling her that she only has half of Bruce's soul, and to complete her collection, she's also gonna need the Hulk's soul. We then cut to Hulk whooping the frost giant's ass, and after he defeated the frost giants, he tries to get into Odin's castle and he just starts beating on the door. We then see inside of Odin's castle as we see Seth and Amora getting ready to fight the Hulk. But before we even see them fight, we cut to Bruce Banner in the afterlife. And low-key, his afterlife is kinda good because he has a wife and kid. Like, this could have been Bruce's life if he never got hit by that gamma blast. Anyways, Bruce's afterlife is basically short-lived because he gets teleported right back to hell, where he sees Loki, Thor, and Hela. And Thor is like, hey man, you're Loki gonna have to reconnect with the Hulk. And Bruce is like, fuck that shit, because if you think about it, the Hulk basically ruined his life. But hey, even if Bruce Banner doesn't want to repossess the Hulk, he kinda doesn't really even have a choice, because if he doesn't, all of Asgard is basically screwed right now. We then cut to Hulk finally entering into Odin's castle, and explain to me why Seth and Amora sent all these crows to fight Hulk. Like, really? Birds? Like, the fuck is a bunch of birds gonna do to the Hulk, bro? Amora then uses her magic to blast away the Hulk, but it obviously backfires and pushes her away instead. Then we see Sif fighting the Hulk as she's basically stabbing him, cutting him up, and then tripping him. And when she was about to deal the finishing blow, Hulk gets up and grabs her, picks her up, and then just slams her WWE style. And then after beating Seth, he walks up to Odin trying to pack up this motherfucker while he's sleeping, might I add. But before he could do that, he gets transported to hell. And after he gets transported to hell, the first thing he sees is Bruce Banner, and this man just starts tweaking the fuck out. Hulk smashes the ground and tries to grab Bruce Banner while they're both falling. Like, the hate between Bruce Banner and the Hulk has to legit be generational, cause ain't no way. Before Hulk tried to grab onto Bruce Banner gets teleported by Hela, and then the Hulk just falls into the ground. And I guess since Hulk couldn't get his hands on Bruce Banner, he just starts fucking up the place. And obviously Hela isn't fucking with that shit, so she tells Thor and Loki to handle the Hulk. So Thor starts attacking the Hulk and uses his lightning to strike the back of Hulk. However, the Hulk just recovers and gets right back up and then starts charging right towards the Thor. Hulk tries to go in for a quick punch, but luckily Thor weaves out the way and then sucker punches the shit out of Hulk. He then would use his hammer to smack away the Hulk, making this man land on his back. And I don't know if it's just me, but Thor is actually kind of getting a couple good hits in. Like, after Thor got his ass beat by the Hulk like 30 minutes ago now, he's like locked the fuck in now. I guess my man really wants that get back. Hulk gets back up and then tries to punch Thor again, but again, Thor moves out the way and then hits Hulk in the arm. And then Thor uses his biceps to grab the Hulk and then slam him into the ground. And just when you think Thor's done with the Hulk, he's not done yet, because he lifts his hammer up and then summons lightning to strike upon the Hulk. And even if he just got hit with this whole ass combo, my man Hulk is not ready to throw in the towel yet. So he then jumps up from the crater and then tackles Thor, smashing him into a nearby head statue. And then he just starts piecing up Thor. And just when it looked like that Thor was unconscious and was ready to be ended by the Hulk, Loki then pops up and then uses his spell to temporarily stop the Hulk in his tracks. So then Thor gets back up, puts on his helmet and picks up Mjolnir and then just starts electrocuting the Hulk. But even if Loki had his spell on the Hulk which holds him together, that's not enough to stop the Hulk, and the Hulk just breaks free of Loki's spell and then grabs both of Thor and Loki. He then lifts both of the two up, but before he could do any more damage, Bruce Banner comes in and then talks his shit. He's like, hey, you want me? Then come get me, bitch. So Hulk's like, I bet, and then chases after Bruce Banner, and then they basically just both fuse together and then become one again. And after just being refused with Bruce Banner, Hulk looks hella tired, which is kind of crazy since Hulk never gets tired, and then basically falls over and then reverts back to Bruce Banner. Hela not wanting to deal with Bruce Banner's shit because previously Hulk was basically fucking up hell, just decides to teleport Bruce Banner back into Midgard. And just when it looked like that Thor and Loki were about to go back to Asgard, Hela is like, y'all are going nowhere because I still need a soul at the end of the day. So Thor is like, you're not taking my soul, you're gonna at least have to run a fade for that shit. So she just decides to take Loki's soul instead, and Loki just gets dragged into the bottom pits of well, you know what. Hey though, moral of the story though, don't be like fucking Loki, because if it wasn't for Loki, maybe he wouldn't even be in this situation. So fuck him.